stocks and shares. Are you aware you can buy fractional shares of even Apple, Amazon, Tesla right now? There are apps. So just Google, you can Google fractional shares app. Mr. Eken, are you getting that? Fractional shares app. And you link it with your card. Even for those of you in Africa, there are certain sites that allow people in Africa with African currencies and African cards, and they can still buy fractional shares of Fortune 500 companies. So that's the way you break it down, and then you grow your way. Obviously, the low risk one would not rise like the what? High risk one. But what we're saying is that you make money from the high risk just like he did. He has pulled out 1,000 what? 900. What has happened? Even if the Trump coin crashed, what happened? He will never lose. Okay? Because he already got back his capital and some profit. You see, now he left $100 in the system. That $100 in another few months, you'll be sure can grow to another 5,000. It could be something Trump did, and suddenly they like Trump, and then boom, it surges, and then the $100 has turned to another $5,000. What will he do? He pull out maybe another $3,000 or another $4,000, leave another 1,000, and before you know, you keep having more money to put into the mid-risk and what? And the low-risk investments. Okay? Any more questions? Can bring the mic forward.
Mine is more like a contribution.
I hope I answered you. Okay, good.
Mine is more like a contribution. I found out one of our biggest problems is mindsets.
Mindset.
Yeah, so recently I've actually been teaching that mindsets actually valuable assets. So I don't know whether you agree with that as well.
Oh, you're right. So mindset is under knowledge assets. Remember we talked about knowledge assets, right? So mindset fits into that, because what the knowledge you're acquiring will do for you is what? Transform your mind. And absolutely, your greatest asset is your mind, right? It's your mind, and it's the way you think. I think the first thing you must change with your mind is what? Who can guess? Anybody? What's the first thing you want to change with your mind? One of the most important thing is the word positivity. Ability to see the good in every situation is your greatest mindset asset. So a few people have been reaching out to me. Oh, we saw people dragging you online. I hope you are fine. Some are even sending me, music. I'm like, said in this trying time, right, where people, you are trending, we think this kind of music will help. And I'm like, I wish these people know who I am. I'm excited about the positive. My mind is more, and I'm not ignoring the negative, by the way, but my mind is more towards I've grown my followers more. We've made money more. More people are calling our offices. They want to do business with us more. I want to focus on that, okay, than getting my mind to be more focused on some unfavorable things. People are saying, oh, why is your coaching program $20,000? It's ridiculous. Why do you charge that kind of money? You don't want to help poor people. Those are the negatives. So it's my choice whether I'm going to focus on the positive or I'm going to focus on the what? Negative. But you have to work on your mind so that you can always see the positivity to every challenging situation. Things that don't go right, you can say, but this happened. Sometimes things are tough. I say, but I'm alive. A living dog is better than a dead lion. I am alive. That's something positive. That's something to be grateful for, right? And once I'm alive, there is hope. I always say this to people. The proof that you have hope is that you're alive. Once you wake up, that's one of my excited moments personally as a human. Once I wake up in the morning, my first thing is thank you, God. This is a good day. Thank you, Jesus. I'm happy, right? Because once I'm alive, there's hope for me, right? A living dog is better than a dead lion, right? Remember I told you about either being a lion or a gazelle, and I said you should be the lion, isn't it? But you must understand that if you wake up as a gazelle, there's still hope for you that you may turn to a lion one day. And stop running from lions and be the one chasing gazelles. Okay? But you need to be alive first. True or false? Right? So once you are alive, there is hope. And that is what you should get you excited every day. See the positive side of things. And so when you are getting your knowledge asset, what you are using it to do is to strengthen your mind, strengthen the positivity aspect of your life and your ability to see things from a positive perspective. Make sense? Yes. Any question? Okay, please can I give him the mic?
Thank you very much, Dr. Stephen, for all you've shared. It's been very informative. And actually, it's the first time I have to talk about this. I didn't know I was going to talk about this today. But I've been motivated to talk about it because what he said and his question. Now, talking about investment and also digital assets, I just want to say this just to encourage some people who don't believe that you need to have so much money to create value and create wealth. You actually need to have lead you and have the right mindset and also be with the right people and have the right team and also have good people around you generally. Now in January, myself and 3 co-founders, we came together and that was not actually the purpose why we came together. The purpose was for us to set up a tech company where we develop applications in Qatar and also outside of Qatar. Now we decided to do one thing. We decided to launch an application. If you are having Android phone, you can just go to Play Store. Look for Aluya, A-L-U-Y-A. That's my name actually.
You're doing free marketing without payment.
It's a marketing that's going to encourage everyone. Basically, we decided to start up this application for music app. We saw the market, we saw Play Store, what Play Store was doing, and we saw YouTube. We felt like people spend time streaming music online and don't get value for it. You stream music, you're not being paid for it, but Spotify is making so much money, YouTube is making money from the time you spend on the internet. So what we decided to do was to change the narrative. We decided to develop an application where we pay you for streaming music. So we did that, we developed that, and we launched it on 13th of February, right? 13th of February 2025, we launched it. And in 2 months, we had over 50,000 downloads, over 21,000 registered users, over 11,000 streamers online daily. And also we started having over $120 revenue per day within 2 months. And currently we are valued at over $1.2 million.
I think you should clap. That's not bad.
So the truth is, this is the first time I'm talking about it, and I have other Nigerians who are here. I have my boss here. I have the Nigerian embassy, one of my bosses there, and I have Sheikh Farhan, and none of them knew I had this application. It's the first time I'm saying it. But why am I saying this?
We know now.
I'll tell you why I'm saying this. We actually started this application with $4,000, which means I only contributed $1,000, and my other 4 partners, we came up to that $4,000 to start up this application. It became cheap because one of us was the coder, the developer. But what I'm saying is, with $1,000, I've been able to create an asset of over, you can calculate it yourself. And the truth is, this application is just 2 months and 11 days old as of today. Is it? Yeah, about that, 2 months and 11 days old as of today, and we already have that value. Now, this application is still in a beta state at the moment. We are not on iOS yet, but we already have over 50,000 downloads. And we're going to be launching fully in the Qatar market this first week of May, and it's going to be the fastest growing.
Take that. or contributions. Or contributions.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
My name is
afternoon.
Barry once again. So my question is on relationship assets. I was a part of class yesterday, but I believe it's investing in relationships.
Yeah.
So how do you sustain relationships, especially when you're operating in a global market and many of the relationships are formed beyond borders? So how do you maintain those kind of relationships?
Beautiful. So one of the things I always tell people is you must work hard to make sure that your relationship are one, value driven, right? Even if value driven, number one. But number two is also your relationship should also be there's nothing wrong with it. You hear sometimes say transactional relationship, but there's nothing wrong with it because sometimes what sustains certain relationships that we're doing business together. Am I making sense at all? So part of it is that your relationship must also include transaction driven. Okay. And this could be either that you are patronizing them or you are referring people to what? Patronize them. These are some of the things that keep relationship going. But the rule is also you offer the value first. So I'll give you an example. I have certain relationship that I was the first that started getting business for them. So I could be in a meeting like that. I say, oh, my friend is into fashion. You need to patronize him. Before you know, I have 5 people, I have 10 people, I have 20 people doing bits. But here's what I'm also studying. Will he in turn reciprocate? If he doesn't reciprocate, after a while, I cut off from him. And this is also where some of us miss it. You could have some relationship where they were so kind towards you, opening doors, giving you things, but you just felt they should be doing it. God touched them. That's wrong, right? You should also then say, if this person is opening this kind of doors for me, how do I what? Reciprocate. Is bringing customers my way, is taking my CV to where I can get a better job, is, I have to figure out a way that I can also pay back. I hope that makes sense. So find a way to have something that can be of value, that can be exchanged, that can keep the relationship alive, right? Because that make the person, if he doesn't remember based on some value you exchanged, he will remember based on, oh, you brought him a client or he or she brought you a client. Sometimes is also intellectually driven. Okay, so that certain relationship that I love to talk to when I just want to have my mind stimulated. Does that make sense? I don't know whether some of you are like that, where you just want your mind stimulated. Okay, you want witty conversation. Have you been with people you're having conversation like, come on, this is good? Like she's smiling, so right, like the person is so deep. What the conversation is just so witty. Okay, so some relationship are what? Intellectually driven. So how do you become somebody who is so intellectually sound that you can engage such people at that intellectual level? Okay, and sometimes the intellectual for some people is books, some is travel, some is science, some is research, and guess what? For some it's politics. Right? One of the biggest actresses in Nigeria, and I've gotten used to this because some of you know I have a podcast. Some of you have watched my podcast. Wait, how many of you have subscribed to my YouTube channel? Please, can we send her out of this room? All of you should be on my YouTube channel, right? So, but if you go on my YouTube channel, Dr. S. Akintayo, you will see a lot of podcast interviews. But if you study, you notice that in the course of interacting with people on those podcasts, it goes unscripted. While I'm asking them questions, I'm checking what is getting their attention or what are they excited to talk about. So one of them is Joke Silva. She's one of the biggest actresses in Nigeria. And I remember when I was doing a podcast, I realized that once I got into the politics conversation, oh, yeah. It was a different version. She was excited to talk about politics. She was in another phase. So what did I do? I gave her more political questions. Are we together now? So in maintaining relations, distance is not the issue. If, for example, you connect at an intellectual level, right, you can always call yourself and then you realize one eye is gone because you are discussing certain, but you must also know, even if it's intellectual, what aspects of that gets them excited. Because it's not just every topic, they are going to be excited about. For example, Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, who is one of the best writers and poets in the world, isn't it? Imagine meeting someone like that. You better know your Shakespeare's and your, because as much as he's an intellectual guy, you also have to know that a type of intellectual conversation he or she enjoys. And that's why some of us have not built good relationships. And this is very important. But this part is more important than money. Do you know you can be rich and I'm having conversation with you and I just don't like you? I may like your money and I just give you some respect because you have some money. But when we talk, you are not cerebral enough. I don't know if you have been around. So I'm not excited to really, but there are some people that are rich, but they're also very cerebral. So many people have not been able to keep good relational capital because they are not cerebral enough for the people they are meeting. And when those people notice you are not cerebral, what happens? They come down to your level, but they don't want to meet you again. Who knows what I'm talking about? They just are not excited about connecting with you again. Right? I took some people to somebody, right? And I remember sharing this with them. I said, did you notice she was sharing about her vision? She has a project. And each time I was asking that question, because I was asking that question based on her vision, her project, she was all alive, right? I went with two people. When they were asking questions from her, the tempo was going down. So when we were going back, I had to pick their attention. I said, did you notice? When I asked her certain questions about this, she was alive. I said, so in building relationship with people like that, be intentional. Are you aware there are certain people that I have relationship with? I don't even talk about myself when I'm with them. Just ask about them. So, how are you, sir? What's this? And I just ask questions, right? I only talk about myself and my achievement when they ask. And sometimes some of us feel we need to blow our trumpet around certain people. Sometimes you don't need to, right? You don't need to. Okay, I'll give you an example. If you meet, what's the name of the sheikh of Qatar? Imagine meeting Sheikh Tamil, and then you're a realtor like myself, and they say, oh, we're doing $200 million in US, we're doing this and this, and then you just want to blow your trumpet. Are you aware that's not a good move? Because I can assure you his advisors will have pulled almost every data about you before he comes, before you get to see him. So there's just no point. The wisest thing is to what? Charm him. In fact, show that you have done your research. As a sheikh, I got to know that your daughter got married. I'm just giving an example. Congratulations on that. It's like, how did you know? That was a very close, you see, you've got his attention. That was a very close, wedding. We didn't make it out. So how did you did your work? And sheikh, I realized you like this type of, I remember somebody, I got a very unique honey. And when I got it, I said, how did you know I like honey? And I just knew someone like this takes their health seriously. So the last time I went to visit her, I told my wife, I said, she likes honey, buy this type of honey. It was then she was now breaking down that she has more than 100 types of honey in her house. 100. Now you know that's somebody obsessed about honey. Right? But imagine how I charm her by first time meeting her, and I brought one. I said, how did you know? So those are how you build stronger relationships. You should do your research. You make it about them. I promise you, most very intelligent people will also ask you about you if it's needed. But don't start the relationship. I just want to blow your trumpet. There are some places you should blow. I'm not asking you to play all these pious. There are places you talk about who you are. Don't, if they ask you, blow the trumpet well, right? But there are times where it's not necessary. They're not even asking you, and then you're just all over the place. It might not even help the relationship sometimes. Okay, I hope I've answered you. Well, clap for yourself for being here. Um, this is also an event to network, so we're going to shut down very soon, and you can network amongst yourself. But I'm aware some people are here, and we want them to introduce themselves. So I'm told that there's a QR code for those of you who want to attend. Where's the QR code? For those of you who want to attend. Today we have boat cruise. Tomorrow we're doing desert safari. So you can register for the...
For those attending this event, we like you to scan the QR code so we can pass every needed information. So please scan the QR code. Everyone, please. Thank you.
Okay, so please scan the QR code. It helps us to pass information about other things we have, other things we're doing, other opportunities we have put together. And so you can scan it, and then it's not just to scan, it's to feel. When you scan it, it takes you to where you can put in certain information. And with that, our team are able to. We have a lot of people making inquiry about our offers. You'll be glad to know that we are also working on opening an office here in Doha. So on Monday, for example, we're doing real estate tour. We already have a relationships. For those of you from Africa, you want to invest in Doha properties, we can now help you through a partnership we've already set up. Okay, so there's a lot coming. We're also in US, as I told you, we're doing a $200 million US property expansion. You can be part of that. UK, we have property. Dubai, if you want to invest in Dubai. Africa, we're the king of that market as well. Okay, so feel free to just scan, put in your details, and then you get all this information. Okay, so you want to introduce your guest?
I think they will introduce.
Yeah, if you can pass the mic to them.
Assalamu alaikum.
Mi alaikum salam.
Greetings to all. I think mostly here from Nigeria. Very dear to me. Thank you for the invitation today. I'm honored to be here and to meet such an intelligent person.
Thank you.
Thank you for choosing to come.
Thank you very much.
It's definitely mindset. So I definitely have a better mindset before I leave.
What do you do?
I'm an entrepreneur, philanthropist.
Okay.
I'm also the president for Working for Wealth Federation for Asia and Qatar.
Okay.
And also the founding committee member of Doha Ambassadors Football Club. I'm also the founder of Art, Fashion, and Art Diplomacy, Art, Fashion, Cultural Diplomacy, and my Secretary General, Her Excellency Spouse of Ambassador of Moldova is with me. She's the Secretary General for it. She's one of the most talented spouses of ambassadors in the country, I would say, with so much talents in the field of art, fashion, and culture.
Nice.
And we're working also on UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage.
Wow. Wow. That's good. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, and regarding Nigeria, I'm also a strategic advisor for the GCC and MENA for Qatar, Nigeria. So,
Wow.
thank you.
Okay. So you're Nigerian. Have they given you a Nigerian name?
So I have also a diplomat from North Macedonian embassy here, that's Christina.
Okay.
We have also an artist and a designer, and also our art advisor for us is Miss Ina Zukosar.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I said, have they given you a Nigerian name?
Please do.
Yes,
Well, I think we'll try to get one application.
they should. They should do that.
The new name.
Good afternoon.
First and foremost, sorry for coming late. I got to learn about the event around 12 p.m. from Mr. Famous, but I'm still here. My name is Umar Madaji, the Secretary, Embassy of Nigeria. I cover political, cultural, and education. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
My name is Dr. Abdulatif Ajibade. I'm the current president of the Nigerian community here in Doha.
The president is here. Clap for him now.
I want to oversee the welfare and the management of the Nigerian welfare, working closely with the embassy. Personally, I work as an occupational safety and health manager in the construction sector in Doha. Thank you. And nice to meet you.
Same here. Thank you for coming. Yes, he has.
Dr. Stephen, I want to say thank you to them because I actually just told them about the event today, and we understand how it went, and I'm happy that they all came. So Mr. Adam, it's shy, he doesn't want to talk online. So thank you very much.
Thank you. But I hope it was worth your time. Despite the short notice, I hope that it was worth your time. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Any other announcements? Okay. If there's none, please network. I always say that your network determines your what? Your net worth. So let's mingle, exchange contacts amongst ourselves. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a wonderful day ahead. Again, if you want to go for the Doha event, please, for the Doha event, can you put up your hand again? Hello? I mean, for the boat cruise, sorry. Boat cruise, like he's interested, raise your hand again if you want to join us for the boat cruise. Also, I have some of my books here. I'm willing to sign them for anybody who wants to get them. We have the team there to attend to if you want any of my books. Thanks once again. Okay, nice.